Welcome back to the Blonde Zone podcast. This is your safe space where art meets soul. And on this show, we get to talk about things that most people are too afraid to say out loud. My name is Tayo, and this is Blonde Zone. Today's episode is one that runs deep. I will be talking about sexual compatibility in marriages. Not from a place of judgment, but from a place of understanding, a place of truth, and from a place of experience. You see, a lot of us, we talk about love, how it makes us feel, how it's, make us want to be with someone, but we hardly speak about the connection, a fantasy. What is that thing that lights up your soul behind closed door? What is that thing that makes you feel, out of this world? What exactly is that, feeling about intimacy? That what do you fantasize about? What do you want to do with your partner? What is your sexual fantasy? What can you do? What do you want to do behind closed door with your partner, but you are too afraid to let it out? Guys, you see a lot of people talk about love, but they hardly talk about connection. They hardly talk about the things that make them come alive. And more rarely, they hardly talk about the kind of intimacy that lights their soul on fire, that makes them come alive. This particular topic is deep and a bit tricky. But guys, fam, let's dive into the pool of sexual compatibility in marriage, in relationship. Let's go there. When we talk about sexual compatibility, the first thing most people think about is just sex. But it's not majorly about sex. It's not about position. It's not about how effective or how good you are as a partner. It's far from that. Sexual compatibility is about reading. It's about reading, emotional reading, spiritual reading, frequency, and how your body responds to one another, not out of responsibility, not out of habit, but out of harmony. You can love someone deeply and still not feel in tune with them sexually. That's why we see a lot of people these days, a lot of partner, a lot of women, your husband don't make you get wet. You hardly get wet for your husband. Same thing for the male gender. Your wife no longer look attractive. Sexually, you're no longer attracted to your wife. Sexually, you still love her, you still want her, but you're not sexually attracted to her. Not because she's doing something differently, but because the sexual connection has shifted. Let me explain that. We have a lot of women these days. They seem not to get wet when their husband touches them or their partner touches them, and they keep wondering, what is wrong with me? Is something wrong with me? Am I? There's actually nothing is wrong with you. It's just that the sexual connection has shifted. It applies to both gender. So sometimes you look at yourself and you'll be wondering, what is wrong with me? Why is it that I don't feel alive when I'm with so person? Why don't I want my partner to touch me? Why is my partner no longer sexually attracted? It's not because they don't love you. Most times it's not because they fall out of love, but it's because the sexual connection has shifted. Sexual compatibility is like music. It changes tempo. Sometimes it's loud and wild. Sometimes it's very quiet, slow, and searching. But the danger is when both partners stop listening to the same rhythm. That is where wahala will start. Ibi tí wàhálà máa ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ nìyẹn. When both partners do not care enough to understand, to grab the response, to know when things are being shifted in their relationship, in their marriage. Perhaps maybe both of them are busy with other lives activity like the kids, finance, work, stress, and so on and so forth, and they both lose track of what makes them feel alive behind closed doors. I've spoken to women who cry quietly in their bathroom just because they can't explain the reason why they do not want their husbands to touch them. Same as the men. I've seen them whisper and like, oh, she no longer looks at me the way she used to. And I've seen men hide under the guise of staying late at work just because they do not want to share the same bed with their partner, not from a place of hatred, but even them can't even explain the reason why they do not find the bedroom activities with their partner enjoyable or interesting anymore. And we hide behind religion, we hide behind marriage itself is hard work, we hide behind our all-day busy schedules, we hide behind silence. And silence itself, it's the real killer. When you stop talking about intimacy, you start losing it piece by piece. First, you stop touching, and then you stop talking. And one day, you wake up, and there's no feeling between both of you. You stop feeling entirely. Have you laid next to someone and felt miles apart? That is what emotional distance feels like. It's a kind of loneliness not even love can fix. Ṣó ti sùn sẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ èèyàn rí tó jẹ́ pé ó máa dàbí ẹni wípé ẹni ò tiẹ̀ sí ń bẹ̀rẹ̀ rárá. You stop. Everything just stop. Like there's no feeling. Even tẹ́ni yẹn bá fọwọ́ pọ̀ ẹ̀ gan, ó máa dàbí ẹni pé igi gẹdú ló sùn sẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́. Have you ever felt like that? Have you found yourself in such situation? But the truth is, most of us were never taught how to talk about sex. We were taught to keep quiet. We were told that good people, good girls, especially for the female gender, they told us, oh, as a good girl, you were not meant to say anything about sex. We were just taught to perform. So we just learn to perform, we learn to pretend, we learn to endure. There's no expression. We were not taught how to be sexually expressive. I'm talking about the female gender here. Most of us, they told us, no, your mom won't even tell you anything about sex. The only thing your mom will tell you those days is, that's the only thing. So over the years, we tend to absorb whatever is coming to us. We tend to learn on the job. For majority of us, most of us, I'm not going to use the word all, for most of us, we get to learn on the job. So we don't, even after marriage, some people don't even know their sexual capability. Because you were not taught to explore. You were just meant to take it. You were not exposed. You were not taught. A lot of us don't even know our body, the way our body is wired. As a woman, you don't know your body. So how can you enjoy what you don't know? And endurance without expression becomes emptiness. You feel empty. You don't enjoy it. You don't express yourself. But the good news is, it doesn't have to stay that way. Compatibility can be rediscovered if both parties, both partners are willing to come together and meet again and learn again. It starts with being honest with each other, but not the kind of honesty that accuses. No, not the kind that points finger. Ìwọ ló ṣe gbá, ìwọ ló ṣàwo, ìwọ ló ṣe báyìí, ó ṣe báyìí, ó ṣe báyìí, ó ní mi ò ṣe báyìí, ó ń ṣe báyìí, ní mi ò ṣe báyìí. No, the kind of honesty that reveals each weaknesses and come together to fix it, come together to work together to fix wherever each and every one of us is lacking. That kind of honesty. You sit down, you breathe, you say, this is what I miss, this is what I need, this is what I want, this is how I feel, these are my fantasies. Now, there will be no judgment. You have to bear it up, come out with each other and say, oh, this is what I want, this is what I've thought in my head, that even I thought it's not possible, but for some reason I could imagine it in my head. And please, I'm not talking about something that is bad for your health. Please note this. As a wife, as a husband, as each of your partner, please, when sex should be enjoyable, not the other way around. So if your spouse is telling you to do something, is going to have a very not too good side effects on your health, as a woman, you have 100% right to decline, to say, no, I wouldn't want to do this. Okay? So if I'm talking about exploration or fantasy in marriage, sexual fantasy, I'm not the ones that have bad side effects, especially for you women. It's not inclusive. So don't go and say, I have to do everything my husband wants to. No, you don't have to do everything, please. Especially if it's if you know what I don't, if you're going to sorrow, when you don't pay your money, you don't pay your money, kelo meyin wa. E ma meyin ni le o, to ti di ba baje, to ni di ni o. Ti di e ba baje, ìwọ ló ní. O ma tún jump lọ sọ́dọ̀ ẹlòmíì ni. So what I'm saying, ìyẹn ò wà inclusive o. Tó bá lọ sọ pé kó lọ mú di wá, tí wọn náà bá lọ mú di wá, tó bá lọ bà díẹ̀ jẹ́, you're on your own, no. That's not inclusive o. But I'm saying nǹkan tó jẹ́ wípé ẹ̀yin méjèèjì ẹ jọ máa wà on the same page. Ṣó ti yẹ, tó jẹ́ pé nǹkan tí ìwọ náà fẹ́, tó bá tiẹ̀ ṣe rí, tí o mọ̀ ṣe, ẹ lè kọ́ ara yín láti ṣe, not èyí tó máa lẹ́yìn fún ẹ o. So mi ò fẹ́ digress jù lórí topic yìí. So you come together to sit down and breathe and say, oh, this is what I miss, this is what I need, this is what I want to feel, this is what I feel. And you listen to each other, because sometimes it's not about lust, it's about connection, it's about how you feel. Hello, me. Even when their partner is far away, the mere thinking about their partner makes their body want to jiggy jiggy, make their body want to and such happens. Some is their ex. They remember their ex and they're like, and they're not even the person they get married to, and they wonder, like, why am I sexually still attracted to this person? Not because that person is good, no, it's just because both of you are operating on the same frequency. It's because your body is in oneness with that person. It's because your body responds to that person in fairness. It's your part of you is still with that person. Sometimes it's not about lust, like I said earlier. It's about connection, about feeling seen, feeling heard, and desire again. You don't need a fancy trick or long explanation. You need honesty. Sometimes simple touch is enough. A genuine conversation, a moment of softness that say, I can still see you. I still want you. I still remember what it used to be like. And if you have lost that spark, you can still rebuild it. It takes effort. It takes patience. It takes grace. And most importantly, it takes vulnerability for you to rebuild that trust within each other, for you to rebuild the spark you once felt for each other. It takes work, and both of you should be ready to do the work. Now, here is the truth. Compatibility isn't something you find. It's something you build. It's not luck. It's language. It's listening. When you meet someone new, passion may come easy. But when life starts happening, especially in marriage, when children, work, family, social, a lot, etc., start interfering, intertwining with your life. When bodies change and when love needs different kind of language entirely, a language of trust, a language of patience, a language of kindness, a language of empathy. Sexual compatibility isn't perfect harmony every day. It is the willingness to tune in back even when the music gets messy. It is the willingness to tune in back even when the music gets messy. So speak. Do not whisper your pain in silence. Let it breathe. Let it heal. Because love, real love, needs honesty to survive. You cannot survive without honesty, without expression. There should be no room for assumption. It needs compassion, it needs empathy, it needs communication and kindness to survive. That's it on today's episode of Blunt Zone. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for listening. And if this resonates with you, please do not hesitate to share. Someone might need to listen, to share. Someone might need to listen to this, to watch this, to hear our conversation. Please do not hesitate to share to your friends and to your loved ones. And again, thank you for watching Blunt Zone with Tayo. Please kindly subscribe to Tayo Adeniyi Studio on YouTube. Subscribe, share, like, and drop your comments. Thank you so much, and God bless you. I still remain your dog, Tayo. Till I come across your screen next week. Bye.